Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Enjoy complimentary access to the American Express Global Lounge Collection. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
On this episode of Bantha Milk, we go to a galaxy in Florida or California.
East Coast, West Coast, Best Coast, all coast. Yeah, we got a lot to explore inside of there.
Intro music. Feels no good to be dead. Hunting is a complicated profession.
Fashion. One of the greatest things that Nick contributed to this show, and he did a lot, but that song is my favorite. He rocked it with that. He said he made it in like 5 seconds, and I don't care. I think it's a lot of fun.
That's
what
impressive.
up, James? How are you, my friend?
I'm feeling awesome. It's been another great couple of weeks. Things are good in the world. How about you?
Wonderful. Unfortunately, you too, we're both back to working again, which is
that teacher life comes around and gets you back in the classroom.
Gets you back in the classroom again. It's not as much fun, but whatever. It is fun though. I also, as you know, I coach girls and boys volleyball. This is girls season. And we got a pretty solid team this year. I'm really excited about it. We got some pretty good things going on there. So it should be a lot of fun. So it does make my day good when I have something to look forward to at the end of it, like a good volleyball match or something like that. So
and I imagine it's great because then if they're feeling good, they're buying in more, and then you're just getting more and more out of them, and that's just so much more rewarding. So
yes, 100%. So it does. As I've said numerous times, the only reason I go to work is to then coach afterwards. So
fair enough. Fair enough.
But it's the best part of my day, work wise, anyway. So that's that. So that's the only bad thing about going back to work. But the good thing is then volleyball's up and running again, and it is a good time for me. So
and that's quick. I suppose fall season's got to get going when they got to go, right? Yeah,
like we start actually in the middle of August, and we had our first official game. We had scrimmages in August, but our first game was on the first day of school, which was a little too much, a little too chaotic there because the kids are just trying to get their bearings. They're, of course, not used to waking up early or as early as they have to get to school. And then, boom, got a game today also. They're just like, but we won that game, so it was good. So it's all right. So it's a good time. This isn't the Bantha Milk volleyball podcast. This is a Star Wars podcast, folks. And I teased it right before. You're not going to hear it on the podcast stream, but if you want to go back and watch it on YouTube, I'm very excited about our beers that we're drinking tonight. So I think I'm going to have to figure out a way to get you these beers in where you live, not here where I live in New Jersey. But I'm going to start. I am drinking Blue Milk.
Unreal. You found it. It's real.
Yes. It's real. It lives. It's from Magnify Brewing, which is in Medford, New Jersey, which is not far from my house. It is a smoothie sour ale. Okay. It is 5% alcohol, and does it have? No. It doesn't really say anything about the blue milk itself, but
I'm just hoping that it's like straight from the source. You're just going to be wiping like the mustache off your mouth afterwards.
Wait until you see it. So what are you drinking over there? And then we'll pop them both at the same time and wait till you see it.
Much more refreshing, but I'm in the third space of space. Okay. And so I got a nice cucumber lime blonde ale from Third Space Brewing. So we will see how this one's going. Straight out of Milwaukee. So you're representing your home state. So am I. And also
there you go.
5%. So
all right. So we got two perfect 5%ers here.
Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, Mine had a little bubbles there. I gotta take a little off the top.
Of course.
It's a sour. I don't even know what flavor. Oh, here it goes. With blue raspberry coconut. There's a lot of coconut.
Okay.
Coconut cream and vanilla ice cream. All right. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
This is where everybody has to watch. We need a drum roll. Ready? Watch
I am
this.
so excited to see. That is not as thick of a smoothie as I was expecting that one
No,
to be.
it's not as thick as you were expecting, but it is 100% blue.
That is like a scary shade of blue.
It is a scary shade of blue too.
They got it. That is definitely blue.
That is blue. It is. It is one heck of a blue in there. I don't want to know what they use to make it this blue, because I'm sure if I drink too many of them, I'll either grow a third eyeball or something like that. But it is very blue. It is awesome. It's so good. And if you like coconut, you're going to love it. It's very coconutty.
Nice.
No foam on the lip there, but there is a lot of foam on the top of the glass. It's so much fun. Oh my gosh. I remember when I found it the first time, I didn't go to the brewery. I think I saw it just in like a liquor store, beer store, or whatever. And I was like, oh, blue milk, this is pretty cool. And then I poured it out and I was like, oh my God. And then just recently, my friend Sean, he texted both Nick and I a picture and he said, drinking this beer, thinking of you guys. And I was like, yes, we had that years ago. I was like, where did you find it? And he said at Magnify Brewing, which, like I said, is pretty near our house.
Yep.
So on Sunday, I drove out there, got a 4-pack. Now, since it's a sour ale, it's pretty expensive for a 4-pack. But I mean, how many other beers can you drink that are blue? That is my question. I
can't say I've run into them, and there was quite a while. I was exploring a lot of different beers with friends every week. So, congrats on actually finding it.
And I found an actual blue milk beer. So there we go. So that
you did it.
I did it.
You did it.
You did it. So that's it. I'm gonna have to really convince them to become a advertiser on the show and
partner. Yep,
it's a partner of the show and send you some also because it's pretty cool. All right. Well, while I'm raving about my blue milk here, I think I have the old can around somewhere. But anyway, other shows on the network. We got the Ears Up, the main show. We got the Supreme Resort. We got ourselves over their Marvel guys over Puny Pod. Scraping the Vault has gone into a longer hiatus than Bantha Milk has for until you join the group. and the Buena Vista Boys, also Jason's second podcast. They're all the ones here on the Ears Up Network. Check them all out. They're all great, and you can find Eric on just about almost every one of those.
Seriously, he just doesn't stop.
He does not stop. He does not stop at all. All right, some Star Wars news. The first one, speaking of going to Galaxy's Edge, a mother is suing Disney for her child being scared by a stormtrooper in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Mother is suing because the kid's stroller flipped over at Galaxy's Edge. Megan Miller, a mother from Arizona, filed a lawsuit against Walt Disney World earlier this month for an incident involving her child. According to the suit, she was in Disney's Hollywood Studios on December 4th, 2023, so 2 years ago, with her child. The report leaves the child unnamed, though clarifies that the child is a minor. I would hope so if it's sitting in a stroller.
Yep. I've seen some big kids in strollers at the parks, in fairness, but that's another topic.
The lawsuit explains that Miller's child was sitting in a stroller, quote, without an adult nearby, when a performer dressed as one of the roaming stormtroopers in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge approached him. The situation frightened the child, leading him to try to move away, causing the stroller to flip, the lawsuit said. Mm-hmm. The lawsuit does not contain any details about how old the child was or why he was left unattended. Miller's attorneys did not respond to any questions when WDWNT reached out for comment. Miller accused Disney of negligence, saying the aforeseen incident was caused by reasons of negligence in Disney in the training, supervision, and control of its employees in the interaction and approach of its characters with guests and children at the park. Miller is also suing Safe Mark Systems, the company that made the stroller her child was sitting in at the time of the accident, accusing them of having an unsafe product. Okay, I'm not going to read the rest of it, but that's enough. How much money do you want to put on the fact that she probably had 2 or 3 bags hanging over the handle of the stroller, making the weight of it way offset and way not the way it was designed to be made? And how much do you want to bet the kid was too big for the stroller? And sure, the stormtrooper scared him. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure the stormtrooper went up, thought he would be cute and like say something to the kid with their special stormtrooper talk. And
That's all they can do.
Scared. Yeah. and the kid kicked his feet or something and the stroller fell over. But I can get, and also I love the fact that it was unattended at the time. But it's everybody else's fault except for the mom, who was not standing there with the kid, who put too many bags on the back of the stroller and all that good stuff.
All of that is incredibly plausible. So
yes.
Very much believe it. Like, you feel for the family and the terror that probably went through the kid of a stroller flipping, because that's scary. But right. I would have a hard time blaming Disney for something like this, just because the character interactions are so sincere to the park experience. Like, sure, the stormtroopers are a little scarier than going into Mickey's house in Toontown, but what do you expect to happen? It's not like they're pointing their blaster at him or anything. It's like they're just interrogating like they're supposed to and having a good time with the kids. Like, it's kind of the point of Galaxy's Edge and having that immersive experience, but that's a conversation for later along the way. But it's just like, come on, like there's more to this story that's not being told and everything with it. And I get it. Like, everyone wants to sue Disney because you can get the bag from the mouse, but. Right.
And that's what it's all about. It's like, hey, I can get money from Disney. I can get money from the stroller company. So some lawyer tracked them down and was like, you have a case. And they're like, yeah, let's go. So I don't know, whatever. I would love. I'm sure they have enough, but it's also 2 years ago, so I doubt like they.
It's just so long ago. Like, come on,
yeah. So whatever. I'm not gonna beat that dead horse there. Darth Vader's lightsaber. We talked about it 2 weeks ago that it was going up for auction, and I told you to try and put your pennies together.
Yeah, I tried. I didn't get very far.
No, and I tried to add my 7 pennies with it, and unfortunately, we came up with just a little short.
Okay.
The lightsaber, the lightsaber sold for only $3,654,000.
Oh, we were so close! I can't believe it.
I know we had 12 cents combined, and it sold for $3,654,000. So, as we talked about 2 weeks ago, it was the lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back that Darth Vader actually used, and now sold. Over $3.5 million. That is
absolutely incredible.
Absolutely incredible. It's the highest movie prop ever sold. Speaking of highest, most expensive things ever sold, do you have $1,000 laying around?
I hope you're talking about Lego.
Yes, I am.
I'm so excited for this, but no, I don't have $1,000 laying around.
Me neither. And what I like about it is they got smart with this one. So Lego has a brand new Death Star, which is 9,000 pieces, making it the biggest Star Wars Lego set yet. It is $1,000, but it includes 38 minifigures and scenes from A New Hope and Return of the Jedi. There's a lot of really cute little rooms in here that do different things. It has the trash compactor. There's another scene like 2 floors up above it that you can push the people down. They go down through a tunnel and into the trash compactor. All the way at the top somewhere, there is a little hidden compartment of a Lego guy in a hot tub.
Nice nod to Lego Star Wars doing silliness like that. Yep.
Yeah. So really, really cool. There's a lot of little rooms in it. And the thing that I like about it the most The old Death Stars were actually also round, so they took up a lot of space. This one is like a cutout. It's like a slice of the Death Star. So it's bigger than the last Death Star by, like, I would say probably 8 or 10 inches taller than the last Death Star. But it can also be like pushed against the wall, and it's not going to take up your entire room, which is very smart of them. They made like a very thin diorama of the Death Star. But as we said, it is $1,000. So,
which honestly, for the amount of pieces, is probably about right for what you'd expect for a Lego piece to kind of go for.
Yeah, it's like 10 cents a Lego piece by the time you're done.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, something like that is where we kind of end up with. But yeah, it's just absolutely wild how many cool scenes that they build in this, and the structure looks so good. Like, whew, it's good. It's really good.
If I had expendable money and was willing to spend $1,000 on it, I would totally get it. It says in the end of this article, Lego's been making more expensive and more intricate Star Wars sets for years. The 2017 Ultimate Collector Series Millennium Falcon had 7,541 pieces, minifigures, and is still available at $849. The Venture Class Republic Attack Cruiser, released in 2023, is $649. The title of the largest Lego set ever is held by Lego Art World Map, which was available from 2021 to 2023 and had 11,695 pieces. The largest Lego set still available is the Eiffel Tower, which has 10,001 pieces.
There's a lot of small little details on that one, so that one checks out. The one that we miss in this house is the Super Star Destroyer, and I want to say it was like 9 or 10 years ago that it started getting pulled out of circulation, but the thing was absolutely massive.
Yeah.
And again, had a lot of cool detail.
And I think it's also funny when you see like the box for these things is like 2 feet by 3 feet by 3 feet. Like the boxes are just enormous. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, we were down at Disney Springs fairly recently and going into the Lego store and seeing some of the boxes like, well, that's not fitting in our luggage home. So
you can't get that one. The one set that I do like that is coming out on October 1st is the gingerbread AT-AT. I don't know if you saw it.
Looks so funny. I love how much we're breaking into just kind of the silly Lego sets that could be. Because like you had the, I don't remember what it is, where they reinvent the galaxy or whatever it is, or reinvent the universe, as those kind of being something. But this is so new and different. Just go ahead and explain more.
Yeah, so the one you were talking, the Rebuild the Galaxy, they had the black Millennium Falcon, because in Rebuild the Galaxy, the Millennium Falcon is now bad. And in it, which is why I want to get this one also, they have an all-white Darth Vader as opposed to the black one. My son, we went to a book signing for something. I don't remember what, when he was little. He was real little. And they had like a thing, like fill out a card as to why you want to win Darth Vader's ship, whatever, his little, not an X-Wing, his, what was it called? What was his little spaceship that he flew in Empire Strikes Back?
Was it the TIE? I was going to say the TIE Executioner, but that's not right. It might
something TIE, yeah, but it was like the Darth Vader TIE one. But that one had like a metallic Darth Vader. It was really cool. But somehow he lost the hands to it. I mean, the kid was 4 or 5 when he got it.
That's what happens.
Yeah, that's what happens. But like I remember he filled out the card himself, and he was little, and it was written like a little kid. And I swear that's the reason that he won, because they looked at it and said, "Oh, this is so cute. Give it to this guy." Like it wasn't written by your parents; it was written by this kid. Yeah. So he won it, and then we had like a metallic Darth Vader. Then the Rebuild the Galaxy has a white Darth Vader, because in the show Darth Vader's good and he's white instead of being bad and black. And this one, the gingerbread one, it has an AT-AT. And it's not that big because the set's only $60, or $70. It's I think it's $69.99.
Sure.
But it's a brown AT-AT. It's decent size. It's not full size, the $700 AT-AT that you could have gotten a couple years ago, but it's big enough. It's cute. It's a cute, good size. but it's all brown to make it look like a gingerbread. And it comes with a gingerbread Darth Vader. So it's a light brown Darth Vader.
Oh, that's great. Wow. Just going all in on the cookie.
Yeah. And I'm like, this Darth Vader alone, like the collectors love the minifigures. This Darth Vader alone is going to be worth more than $70 as soon as it goes out of print. I guess maybe in January or whenever they stop making it. So October 1st, I'm definitely getting that one. I can't afford $1,000 set, but I'm definitely getting that.
Can't blame you for that, but that's cool.
No. Yeah, so that one's pretty fun. We also talked about before how Andor was up for a whole bunch of Emmy Awards. Well, they already won 4.
Oh, great. Because they do the pre-show awards, don't they?
Yes, they did the pre-show awards. They won 4 Creative Arts Emmy Awards. During the ceremony Saturday night, the Star Wars series created by Tony Gilroy took home 4 awards, including wins for Outstanding Costumes that brought the Chandrili wedding to life, and the Masterful Production Design and Visual Effects. I guess that's the category. Okay, let's see. Winner, Outstanding Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes. Winner, this is the category. Outstanding Production Design for a Narrative Period or Fantasy Program 1 hour or more.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Glad we're giving out a lot of awards, apparently.
Yeah. Easy for you to say. Winner for Outstanding Picture Editing for a Drama Series. These are all for the episode Who Are You? Which was, I think, the best episode. That was episode 8, right? I'm pretty sure Who Are You was. That was the one where at the very end.
Yes. Because that is from, our good friend Cyril.
Yeah, when Cyril.
His tragic line.
Who are you? Oh, and he was about to kill him. Who are you? Oh, that didn't come through. Whatever. So Outstanding Picture Editing for a Drama Series and Outstanding Special Visual Effects in a Season or a Movie. That's for the whole series.
That's not a surprise. Yep.
No. And then winner. Why does it just say music? It has music by John Williams is highlighted in bold, but it doesn't say that that's like the award. Then below it, winner, Outstanding Sound Editing for a Non-Fiction or Reality Program. Music by John Williams. Okay, so I guess I don't know. They have all the like credits below each category. So I guess I don't know what. I don't think the John Williams, that'll probably be in. Okay, here's the nominees for Outstanding Character Voiceover, Outstanding Sound Editing, nominee Outstanding Sound Mixing, nominee Outstanding Music Composition for a Series, nominee Outstanding Original Music and Lyrics, nominee Outstanding Cinematography, and nominee Outstanding Guest Actor in a Drama. And then the Acolyte had a nominee for Outstanding Sound Editing for a Comedy or Drama Series. And Outstanding Sound Mixing for a Non-Fiction Program. So the Acolyte got 2 nominees. We knew that Andor had like 11 nominees. They already won 4 of them, which is awesome. So I'm very proud of Andor because it was an amazing show. And incredible. I was really into making sure that I talked about the biggest Lego Star Wars because I have 2 different articles about the Lego Star Wars.
Good. I'm glad you are very committed to this one.
I am. And last but not least, this one was an older article, but I sent it to myself and I didn't find it until recently, so I do want to talk about it now. I remember talking about this when it happened with Nick way back in the day. Gina Carano, who we know from Mandalorian, she was fired because she had some very non-Disney-esque tweets that she wasn't backing down from.
Yes, she did.
She settled her legal dispute over Mandalorian firing. We look forward to identifying opportunities to work together in the future, she says. This is for Variety magazine or whatever Variety is. Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company have reached a mutual agreement in their legal disputes with Gina Carano following the firing of The Mandalorian. A Lucasfilm spokesperson said in a statement provided to Variety, the Walt Disney Company and Lucasfilm are pleased to announce that we have reached an agreement. This is like the 4th time in this article that they say this. To resolve our issue pending lawsuit against the companies. Ms. Carano was always well respected by her directors, co-stars, and staff, and she worked hard to perfect her craft while treating her colleagues with kindness and respect. With this lawsuit concluded, we look forward to identifying opportunities to work together with Ms. Carano in the near future. Carano was fired from The Mandalorian in 2021 after sharing several controversial social media posts, including one that compared being a Republican to being Jewish during the Holocaust. She was also dropped as a client by UTA at the time. In 2024, she filed a lawsuit in California federal courts alleging wrongful termination and discrimination, as well as demanding that the court should force Lucasfilm to cast her again and pay at least $75,000 in punitive damages. It doesn't say how much she got or what the results were. But she says, I'd like to thank you all for my unrelenting support throughout my life and my career. You've been the heartbeat that has kept my story alive. I hope to make you proud. I'm excited to flip the page and move on to the next chapter. My desire remains in the arts, which is where I hope you will join me. Yes, I'm smiling from heart to yours, Gina. So she won her lawsuit. Whatever.
Yep.
I also think
as a public figure, this is why I'm not on Twitter or any platform, obviously, because I just can't risk any of these takes, right?
Well, you heard about Philly's Karen, right? Did you hear about this?
I don't know if I did.
Okay, so Friday night at the Phillies game, there was a home run, and two people went racing for the ball. This one woman and this dad.
Oh, yeah, I heard about this one. Keep going, though.
She was behind the seat he was in. He grabbed it. He ran over. He gave it to his son. And then she chased him down and said, I had that ball first. You couldn't really tell in the video. It looked like they might have each had their hand on the ball, and he like yanked it out. But I've seen hundreds of times kids, adults, everybody like going for the same ball, and whoever winds up having the better grip on it, they get the ball.
They get it.
Well, she ran over and was like, give me that ball back. I saw it first. And you could hear one of the clips. She said, I saw it first. And the dad finally was like, take it. I don't care. Like, you're going to be that crazy. Take the ball. And then everybody reached out to the kid. The Miami Marlins, somebody from the Marlins ran over, gave him a gift package. After the game, the Phillies pulled him down to their bullpen. The guy who hit it, I can't remember his name right now. He's number 2 for the Phillies. He gave him a signed bat. He got to meet the kid got to meet the baseball player who hit the home run. There was a tweet from Marcus Lemonis, who owns Camping World. And in the tweet, he said, you also want an RV, and I'm going to buy you World Series tickets. Today, one of my coworkers told me that the Phillies said if they make it to the World Series, they're going to give the kid World Series tickets. And now, like, there's this manhunt for this Phillies Karen. There was all this stuff that said that she worked in the Hamilton School District in New Jersey. Hamilton School District posted a thing that says, we don't know this person's name that you're saying this person is.
Got to protect themselves, right?
Yeah. This person has never worked for Hamilton School District. Please stop contacting us, basically. It said that she was fired from her job in Hamilton. But the funny part about it was it took place in Miami. So, and it was on a Friday. So you had to, which you could have done because the game didn't start till 6:45. You could have got done work at 3, hopped on a plane at 4, and been down there in time for the game.
Yep.
But you would have been like pushing it. You could have taken a half day or whatever the case may be, or maybe not even gone to work that day at all, whatever. But like now, Hamilton said she doesn't work here. We don't know who she is. So now there's like this manhunt to find out who the Phillies Karen is, because I guess they want to make sure that justice is served for this mean lady. But yeah, that's what your social media that you're ignoring. That's what it's all about right now.
This is just wild that it's like 2 of these moments from major sporting events within the past month, because you had the one with the tennis player as well, right? Where he took the hats and the billionaire guy took the hat right out of the kid's hand. Yeah. And then he was like, say anything bad about me and I'll sue you. Yeah. And then you can get this. So it's crazy. Yep. Wild times.
Yay, sports. So,
yep.
The funny thing when it happened, it all depended on how Star Wars and Lucasfilm put it to Gina. They could have just as easily said, we're just going in a different direction. They didn't even have to say, we're firing you because of what you said. They could have just said, we're writing this character out. This character didn't get enough hype and whatever, and you're gone. But I think because they must have said, we're firing you over this, that's whatever. So she was able to sue him. She won her lawsuit, and I'm sure that's why the person with the stroller now wants to sue, because they're like, hey, if I can get any money out of Disney, I'm going to get some money out of Disney.
It sounds like a stroller thing.
It sounds like a stroller thing.
Yeah.
So that's the end of my news. That's enough Star Wars news for this week.
I've got one more for you, actually.
You got one more for me?
I got one more for you that I ran into. So in Tunisia, where they filmed Star Wars, there's this brutalist hotel that if you see this, it looks exactly like one of the Jawa sand crawlers.
Okay.
And it's been in Tunisia since the early 70s. So just before all of this. And so they like to think it's a lot of inspiration for the sand crawler. Well, this hotel is up for demolition now. It's been out of service since 2000 by all means. But if you go and look at this hotel, which just hit the news, I want to say in the last week or two that I saw it, it looks like a sandcrawler. 100% the inspiration for what this is was the Hotel du Lac, I believe. Okay. And it looks like they're going to tear it down now, the government, because 25 years of sitting
vacant, in a desert.
Yeah, not really doing much for them in that one. So I'm sure they can come up with something new. But it's oh wow, you look at this. I'm like, it's there. It's a sandcrawler, and kind of sad to see that piece going. Yeah,
I also love the story. The sandcrawler, I think they left in Tunisia because it was too big. Yeah, so that, and even the skeleton that R2-D2 and C-3PO walked past, the crate dragon skeleton.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they left them in the desert.
I mean, that one checks out. That one was definitely huge. I mean, the sandcrawler obviously was too, but...
and even when they were building the sandcrawler, I don't remember the name of the country that's next to Tunisia, but there was a country next to Tunisia.
I think that's Libya.
What's that?
I think that's Libya, but...
Libya? Okay. And they contacted the government of Tunisia and was like, are you trying to start a war with us? Because we see this giant military something coming closer to our land, coming closer to the border. And what's going on over there? Should we start to plan? What is your plans here? What's going on? And they had to explain to them, nope, that's just a movie set that's being built, and it's not a vehicle of war. We promise we do not want to go to war with you.
What a time, right? To have something look so good and wild that it's is that a weapon?
Is that a weapon? Yeah, so are you trying to kill us? What's going on here? So, yep, so that's it. That's funny that the hotel is going to be demolished. Get your flights now to Tunisia so that you can go see it before it gets blown up and torn down and all that other good stuff. All right. Well, before we get into our main topic, do you have a Jedi of the Week for us?
Of course I do. Drop that beat.
Here it is. I got to start over from the beginning because I love the song. So come on, go back to the beginning. Here we go.
Yeah. I'm the Jedi of the week. I've been running it like I've been Yoda for a minute. Putting on a clinic with my homie Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can you feel it? On the field like a real one. Yeah, I'm the one. Like my first name was Anakin. My voice got a panicking. Going hard like the mandolin. I'm manning it. I am Jedi of the week. Jedi of the week. I'm the Jedi of the week. I am Jedi of the week.
All right. I love that song. For such a AI created song, it's so much fun. So there we go.
I mean, Anakin and Panikin, mandolin. Anakin. These rhymes are just...
They're spot on. They spent hours coming up with these rhymes, yes.
Clearly.
Anakin and Panikin.
Yeah,
that's a good one there. And then it's funny, later on, they talk about non-Jedi people, but we won't get to that far. you do have a Jedi for us. So you hit us up with a Jedi.
I do. I'm continuing my tradition of moving along through the alphabet to the letter C, and we're going outside the film and TV show universe and into the video games as we talk about Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis.
Yes, Cal. You may know him from the games Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor, as he was a Padawan when the Jedi Purge began. He survived Order 66, but he had to just hide as the Empire rose to power. And he's super interesting because you finally get that story of a Jedi being lost and trying to figure out what to do when he is an enemy of the state, essentially. And so you just get this tension of him having powers, knowing how to use them, but having to be cautious about them. So he's got to figure out how to survive and really like what his purpose is, because is he just trying to live and like not be noticed, or does he risk it all and fight back? And so we get to see that between the two games, which are great, fantastic games with really compelling characters throughout and a good story to go through, as well as a lot of customization on your force powers. But they do a really nice job, I feel like, with his character, because he's not just this typical hero of like, yes, I'm going to save the day. He's got doubts. He makes mistakes. The story makes sure that he makes mistakes. And so you just start to understand what life could be like for him as he goes through this. And so it's, I think it's really compelling of such an idea of he's trying to find hope. He's not just using his lightsaber to kind of bring hope back to the world. So he gets to figure it out. And it's a great excuse for people who enjoy playing games or the Star Wars universe to explore a lot of the different planets and some other factions. Like you're back on Dathomir at one point to explore a little bit. And so you just get to see what it's like as the Jedi tries to survive and overcome the history of the Order and the Council and the reputation that they've got, and just figuring out where his place is in the world, just like most other people. And that's a quick glance into our Jedi of the Week of Cal Kestis.
Cal Kestis. Also with Cal Kestis, that's where the BD droids come from, which you can now see walking around the Galaxy's Edge, which we're going to talk a lot more about later.
Yes, those BDs are awesome.
He had a little BD droid that followed him all over the place. And so if you wondered where those cute little BD droids that walk around Galaxy's Edge came from, it came from this game. It's funny, I don't know what I did when I was playing this game, but I was on like even just the first planet, and I got caught in some kind of a loop where I could not find whatever I was supposed to be looking for.
Sure, yeah.
And I just kept running around and around in circles. Every part of the map that I could get to, I was walking around, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? And I never like Googled it to try and figure it out. And it was even like so early in the game that I should have just started all over. But I didn't, and whatever. And so I never really got into the games. I know Nick loved it, and he even wound up eventually getting a PS5 because you couldn't get the second one on a PS4 anymore.
Oh, sure.
So he wound up getting a PS5 so that he could play the second one, which he said was even better than the first one. So he's a cool character. I know there's talk of trying to bring him into canon and into a movie or a TV show or something like that. So I'm sure eventually we will see Cal Kestis on TV because he was such a popular Jedi in the game.
And what's great is he's based on a real actor who did his voice and all of the stuff, and so it'd be easy for them to do it as long as they keep that casting or find someone who looks eerily similar.
Yeah.
I think it's
they
Cameron
should do
Monaghan, but I'm terrible with actors' names, so
that's okay. Well, somebody will tell us all about who it was.
I
so
hope
that's okay.
so.
All right, well, before we get into, I've been real slacking in my book. Now that school's back, I haven't been able to read as much, so I don't know if we have a lot of book talk this week. But I was still reading that same book that I talked about last week where all the pages were coming out of it. Mm-hmm. I'm up to like chapter 12 now. I think I'm a little past halfway. It's getting pretty good. But unfortunately, like for a Timothy Zahn book, it's not really pulling me in the way every single other one did. There was two good chapters. Chapters 10 and 11 was a big like fight scene and stuff, which I was like, oh, here we go. So it was really good.
That's cool.
It is fun. I think we talked about it, but I'm bringing it up again. How when you're reading the books, the Jedis have so many more powers and know how to do so many more things than they show in the movies. And I find it fun how, even when you're listening to audiobooks, like they'll tell you it's like how many hours long it is to listen to this.
Yeah.
You can't, if you were to take a book and make it page by page into a movie, it would be a 19-hour movie. And like, you can't do that. So they skip a lot of things, but like, they really dig deep. Some of the authors really do a good job of making the Jedi even more powerful, or like Timothy Zahn in some of his books really made Darth Vader out to almost be not a doofus, but like he lowered his powers when he was like comparing Darth Vader to Thrawn, because Thrawn was so intelligent that Thrawn was, it's almost like the bully versus the genius, and it was like Thrawn the genius can outsmart the bully that is Darth Vader with his powers. But then when you watch like the movies, like Darth Vader is so overpowered to everybody else. So it is interesting how some authors do take some liberties with it and things like that. But it's not. I'm still reading that same book. It's good. It's just also with running out of time and stuff like that in the day. I don't have the time to just sit around and read like I like to do over the summer. What about you? Are you on the same book, or you on to a new book?
I'm on to a new one. I finished Canto Bight, and I am so shocked with how much I enjoyed that book. So it's a book of 4 short novellas. So it's 4 short stories told inside the planet Canto Bight, and it gets such a bad reputation from its experience in the movies that I think there's a lot of people see the title and just want to put it away. But it is such a good book with those 4 stories of just really focusing on people in situations that happen to be on a casino planet. And I feel like it does the planet a lot more justice than what it got. And you see the glamour, you see the underside of it. The characters are really compelling. Like the first one really hooked me in really fast of just how good it was put together, where you have these 2 people that just happen to run into each other. And then all the way through to the last story that's just a ride going through all night. I don't know if I can recommend this higher than some of the other books I have, but this is definitely one up there of like, if you're considering it or you like the short stories, this one you gotta go for.
Did you read the book? It was like Tales from Jabba's Palace.
I haven't done that one yet. I really want to.
Okay.
So
that's another one where it's a bunch of short stories, and they did a really good job of intertwining all the short stories together. But it is also, it might even, I think it's like 8, maybe 6 or 8 different stories in there, all about different people at Jabba's Palace. So when I first started reading it, I was like, this is whatever. But then as I kept reading it, I was like, you know what? I actually do like this story. So the Canto Bight one also sounds like something that I would enjoy, because I do now have a better appreciation of all the novellas, the little short stories, and how they're able to lock them all together like that. So
yeah. So those don't necessarily intertwine. There's a character that does make one reappearance, but the planet itself is good. So.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk to you all about how Galaxy's Edge actually fits into the galaxy, and everything that we want to tell you about about Galaxy's Edge at the same time. So James has been there multiple times, so he knows where to hide all of your little secrets and your crystals and all that good stuff. So we'll be right back.
This episode is brought to you by Cadillac. Cadillac certified service technicians are factory trained to fit your vehicle with the tires specifically developed for it. And with our tire price match guarantee, you get the best fit for the best deal. Let us do the work. Available on select eligible tire brands at participating dealers only. Offer ends 12/31/2025. Terms apply. See dealer for complete details. Visit Cadillac.com/service to learn more.
And we're back. Oh my goodness, that's the best commercial we've ever had on the show.
I think so. I mean, maybe we're about to do a better sales pitch for Disney, but it's definitely incredible stuff there.
Incredible stuff. Oh, wait a minute. when Galaxy's Edge came out, I wanted to find out more about it. And I got this comic book, Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. And it was cute. It was fun. It was a good book. They basically incorporate Galaxy's Edge. This helps incorporate it into canon. And a lot of the things that are in Galaxy's Edge, or as it's properly known as, what the heck's its real name? My mind just went blank.
Black Spire Outpost.
Yes, thank you. Black Spire's Outpost. So this comic book helps try and bring it all together. There was another book that I read.
I think you're talking about Black Spire.
Yeah, Black Spire book. I read that book also.
That's the one I'm listening to now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's fun because it does. Going through the park and going through the area, they do like incorporate a lot of the things that you walk through in the story as you're talking about it, and it's a fun little book, and it also helps bring the two together. Yeah. I have several novels and comics such as Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire, and Thrawn Alliances.
Yes.
Featured Batuu. So those two books are places that you can find and hear them talk about Black Spire Outpost. This ensures that the park isn't just inspired by Star Wars, but officially part of the galaxy history. All right, so I don't know how we're going to do this. We'll just, whatever.
Let's set the stage a little better. So you talked about it's the planet Batuu, the major outpost, Black Spire Outpost, and this is taking place.
And it's named that because of
the Black Spire that's in between that old tree that I don't remember got rusty or something.
Yeah. So there is a Black Spire in the park in the Galaxy's Edge, and that's where the Black Spire Outpost was formed around that. So if you're walking around in Galaxy's Edge, you will see this Black Spire. It's not like the mountain or anything like that. It's kind of hidden almost.
It's easy to miss. Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, we'll keep going, and then I'll throw in my notes in here as you go. So
Great. So this is set between The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker in terms of lore timeline. So that's why it's purely Resistance, First Order, and any other offshoot shows that make sense to fit in this timeline. So that's why we're not going to see Luke, Han, Leia, Anakin, or Padme showing up in here. That's why they still live over in Tomorrowland, if they even show up at all.
So, and that's the thing that has become a bit of a controversy over the years since this park has been open, because they wanted to keep it real and keep it set in this time. But the problem was the fans didn't really care, right? I felt the fans wanted to see Darth Vader. They wanted to see Luke Skywalker. They wanted to see Han Solo walking around, or even young Anakin, or anything like that. They didn't care the timeline. I feel Star Wars fans know the people that they like and would be willing to see the people that they like, and they don't care that Black Spire Outpost wasn't this outpost 70 years beforehand, even though in the books and stuff I think they say it goes back hundreds of years or something like that. So
yeah, old enough that the people don't remember all the history of why these things showed up. Now, Batuu is way on the edge. It's almost wild space, so it's definitely not a major planet and never will be. But you are bringing up the right point of this is prime time for when the Disney parks were going all in on immersion and wanting to just have that feeling. You walk into Black Spire Outpost or anything, you are totally separate from the world. Same thing with the Galactic Star Cruiser that showed up on the East Coast.
Yes.
All about living inside of this. I mean, it's so immersive. You have language that you use. When you greet someone in the morning, you say bright suns. Yep. And then at night, it's, is it rising moons, I believe?
Rising moons. I think you're right with that. Yes.
Yeah. And if you ask people about something else, or if you're looking for something, the cast members will be like, oh, that's off-world in a place I've maybe heard called Tomorrow.
And they were also referring to things costing credits as opposed to cash, right? Are they still doing that? Where it was this holocron is 49 credits, because that's the money in Star Wars as well.
which is funny because the book Black Spire makes a big deal that they use a currency called Spira on the planet, but they can convert it to credits. So I'm like, it's fine. We can drop some immersion apparently. So, but that's only because it's fresh in my mind from the book, right? And so
yeah.
And so you just get it.
So, go ahead, keep going. I'm sorry.
Oh no, hop in whenever. Otherwise, the next thing I was thinking about is when you come into the planet, when you land in Black Spire Outpost, you got two options of entrances from the parks. You got one going through the forest, trying to find the resistance base, and you got one right into town where you can hit the market, and it's two very different experiences. I don't know if you've picked up on that or really know what's going on.
Yeah, 100%. And I enjoy the long walk into Galaxy's Edge better. Olivia said, and they say something for your birthday that is different, but she can't remember what.
Oh, I don't know that one.
All right, so we'll have to Google that one while we're talking about it. I haven't been to Disneyland. Disneyland's version, they're almost identical. They are like 99% identical.
Yeah.
What I read, the only difference is that the Disneyland version, the paint is slightly a different shade of like all the rocks and stuff because of the way the sun in Florida will fade paint. They had to make it a different shade so that the sun wouldn't fade it as quickly or something like that. So the only major difference between the two, the footprint is identical. You walk in either one, you're going to feel like you're in the same exact part of whatever park you're in, Hollywood Studios, or it's in Disneyland, right? It's not in
Disneyland proper.
It's in Disneyland, yeah. So you walk in Hollywood Studios, you walk in behind Rest in Peace, Muppet area, Muppet Vision, and Muppet all that stuff, yes. Which somebody pointed out, it would be that tunnel almost looks like it would be perfect for like going into Roger Rabbit Land, because if you think back to Roger Rabbit when he goes into Toontown or whatever the Toon World is, they go through this like tunnel to get to the Toon. So you go through this tunnel and then you come out the other side of the tunnel and then suddenly, whoa, you're in Star Wars, and it's really cool. Then you walk around the corner, you still don't see anything except for the pathway looks much more Star Wars-esque. And the one thing George Lucas really wanted with Star Wars was he wanted to look like a lived-in galaxy. He didn't want it to look brand new.
Yep.
Star Trek, everything is neat, tidy, clean. Pristine. Everything has its place. There's not a wrinkle to be found in Star Trek. Everything, uniforms, everything is completely pressed and whatever. There's no rust. There's nothing. So Star Wars was a whole different thing. He wanted it to be lived in. So you're walking through, and then you see like I want to say you see like a speeder bike, or you see some kind of little display on the one side, and you're like, there it is. There's a Star Wars ship of some sort. And then you come around the corner, and suddenly you're immersed in Star Wars, and everything looks like Star Wars. It's just so cool. It's so much fun.
I think that's one of the funniest things you talk about, because I remember going fairly shortly after it opened. It's like everything just looks like so worn and poorly maintained, which is not the Disney way, but is the 100% immersive way of this is what a Star Wars experience would look like.
Yeah. Like this is what any even like the Millennium Falcon. If you watch the Millennium Falcon, or even in this case when you go on the ride, all the padded walls and stuff are all dirty and worn out, and you can tell Han Solo hasn't cleaned a thing inside the Millennium Falcon in years that he's owned the thing.
Yep.
So then we have, I guess,
let's talk through the attractions. Yeah.
So there's two rides in there which are awesome. I like both of them. I know some people don't, but I like both of them. The Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run is fun, and then there's also what's the big one, the Stormtrooper
Rise of the Resistance.
Yes. So the Millennium Falcon was the first one, and that was there for, what would you say, like a year before Rise of the Resistance?
I think that's probably about right. Yep.
Yeah. So
that's your nice interactive mission where you and 5 of your closest friends are flying a mission for the famed pirate Hondo Ohnaka, and you have to fly or shoot guns or fix things, and you go through a great queue and end up in like the Millennium Falcon area where you got the Dejeric table and all the other controls that you get used to until you get launched in the mission and have to strap in and try to help out Hondo or Chewie if you know the secret.
So Hondo, for non-Star Wars people, he was in Star Wars Rebels, the cartoon, which some people don't even know who like Star Wars, or the ones who refuse to watch the cartoons. Star Wars Rebels is awesome. If you don't watch it, then you're missing out on great storytelling and great Star Wars as a whole. But so he's in there. He's a smuggler. He's a little, I would say a lot more shady and definitely out for himself, more than Han Solo was ever portrayed as being. He definitely will tell you whatever he thinks you want to hear, so that way he will get what he wants from you.
Yep.
And then when you go through the ride, there's an awesome audio animatronic of him, and he has like tentacles on his face, but I don't know what they're technically called, but he's got some of these like cool tentacles on his face and stuff and whatever.
Yeah,
so he's really really awesome.
So that's what it looks like. So yeah.
Yes. So he's awesome. It's a shame if you see it in B mode, you just see a video of him.
Yeah.
And it's funny, the first time we went to Galaxy's Edge, I think we went 2 separate times. I've only been there twice. But the first time we went on the ride, we went on Smuggler's Run twice and saw it in B mode both times. So it was a little disappointing.
Oh, that is sad.
Yeah, but this is fun because Hondo introduces you and then you go through. And if he's not there when you're in the waiting room, there's just like a tarp over top of him, and then there's like a video behind him that is like, "Hey, it's Hondo," and he says his little thing in his interesting accent, and then you move on, and in it you have the 6 jobs. You have 2 pilots, 2 gunners, and then 2. What are the last ones called? That they
Engineers.
Engineers, yeah.
Home to the single riders.
All the single riders become engineers because it's the least favorite of the rides. The other thing that I really like, when you're waiting for them to tell you, go down that tunnel, go down that tunnel, go down tunnel C, D, however they number them or letter them.
Colors.
Colors. Okay, that's what it is. There is the Dejeric table, which is the table that they have on the Millennium Falcon that Chewie played the space chess basically on, and the round bench, which is really cool. Very, very Millennium Falcon set. And the first time we went through, nobody was like going near the table and chair at all. And I said to my family, let's go sit in it and let's get our picture taken. And my kids were like, no, you can't go over there. And I'm like, yeah, you can. They're like, no, you can't go over there. I was like, okay. So then when we went back the second time, I'm like, I'm getting my picture taken here. If you're not joining me, fine, but I'm getting my picture taken over here. Yep. So then the cast member was like, oh, do you all want to get in? And I'm like, yes, thank you. So then my family joined me, and we all sat around the Dejeric table, and we got a good picture of the 4 of us in there.
You can and should touch things in there. That's what it's made for. So
yeah, exactly. And it's already all beat up and worn out. So you sitting on it's not going to ruin anything. So when you get there, definitely sit down at the table and get your picture taken, because you will be waiting there for a couple of minutes while you're waiting for the ride to circle through. And then you have the 2 pilots. The one pilot controls the up and down. The other pilot controls the left and right. Depending on if it's a 4-year-old or not, you will crash a lot, because the 4-year-old has no control over anything. They don't have no idea what they're doing. And then that makes the engineers have to do a lot more, because they have to constantly try and fix the spaceship so you don't die at the end.
More buttons, always good.
The gunners, you can honestly, I did it once. You just hold your finger on the button and you can just keep shooting. No matter, you don't have to. The first time I was like tapping away, and then the second time you're just like holding it there, and you're just like, oh, look at that! I can just keep doing it.
You could turn on manual aim and up the challenge, but I feel like that takes away the immersion and enjoyment of the attraction. So I'm always like, just leave it on auto. Just push the button and shoot the ties.
Yeah, because honestly, like I just want to hold the button and I want to watch what's going on front of me. I don't want to wait until the light lights up for me to have to tap it. So I'd rather not look at the buttons and look out the front display because I didn't wait in 2 hours of a line to just stare at this button and wait for it to turn on and then push it the whole time and not know why I was doing this at all.
You waited 2 hours because you've had this dream of going into hyperspace and pulling the lever down.
So the first time we went through, my wife and I think my son were the two pilots, and my wife was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So then we went through the second time. She's like, you fly. So when it came to the part where it was like, put us into hyperspace, I was like, ah. I was like, I pulled that lever like Han Solo did. I was like, yes, it was so much fun. So yeah, Olivia said she wished they gave you more time in that room.
Yeah.
She said when it first came out, they did give you more time, she said, but it feels pretty quick now. And I can see that. Like, they're trying to rush you through because they're trying to get more hundreds of people through an hour. So I understand why they're trying to rush you through, but I think if you're quick enough, when you get to that room, and if you know, go over to the table, get your picture taken, then get back in line, and you'll be okay.
Yep.
So the ride is fun, depending on how much damage you do to the ship and depending on how many TIE fighters you shoot down and how well you're able to get through the missions. At the end, it'll tell you how many packages you saved and whatever. And then you feel either a sense of success, yay, we brought back 4 packages, or they go, you only brought back 1, you failed us, and you're like, meh, you feel all bad for yourself.
Going into service for Hondo for a long time, so gonna be stuck with it.
Mm-hmm. So it's a fun ride. I know people don't like it because, especially if you go single rider, you're stuck being the engineer. We did talk last week that there are new things for the engineer to pick. Not really much more, but at least it gives you something else to do. So you have that. So it gives you a little bit more, and then you have the other
story
ride
coming next year. So
yeah. So come back next year. Then we have the other ride, the Resistance, Rise of the Resistance. This I said it wrong again. Why did I say
Rise of the Resistance? You said it right in the end, but it's
right?
more than a ride. This is what I'm sure Disney wants us to say is a narrative experience.
It is fun. I will say that.
Yeah, it's so great. There's so many great pieces as you move through it. I feel like as you go through it, you never know when you're actually on the ride because you
don't know when the ride starts and when it doesn't start.
Yeah,
it is so much fun. I think I might have told you already that like my son wanted to do this the last ride, so we would have a long wait and we could be the last ones in the park.
Yep.
And if I don't know what time the park closed. This was in Disney World. Say the park closed at 10. We got there at like 9:50 and there was nobody in line.
Oh, wow.
So we just kept walking and walking and walking and walking. And he was like, oh, man, this is the one time I actually wanted to wait in line.
That's
because
funny.
I wanted to be at the park until 10:45 and be the last ones out. But as you walk through the whole time, so immersive. Even the waiting line is the switchbacks. There's so many little things to see. There's things hidden in the rocks, and then you get inside the docking bay and there's more things to look at as you're walking over catwalks and then under other catwalks and around different things. And there's droids pushing canisters and there's all this stuff all over the place. It's so much fun to walk through. And then you finally get into where you think the ride starts, and then it's basically like almost 2 rides in one, I would say, because in the beginning when you're on the Rebel ship, that could be almost a ride, and it's moving, and there's a giant, what's the pilot's name? I forget what his name is. You
got Nine Nub that's actually flying the ship, but then you got the Mon Calamari guy, Lieutenant Beck.
Yeah, so Nine Nub is very large.
yes, he is.
His head is enormous, and I'm like, I didn't think he was that big. I thought he was a short little fella, but okay. So he's flying the ship, and I liked to stand at the back of the ship and see, because they have screens all over the place, and the screens at the back were really, really cool. And then then you get like rushed out, and you're like, what's going on? And you like twice you get rushed in and out of the ride, which is a lot of fun. The first time is when the ship docks or gets pulled into the Empire's ship, into the Star Destroyer.
To the First Order Star Destroyer, yep.
Yeah, and you get sucked into that, and then they're yelling at you that you're a rebel.
Now.
You're prisoners now. And you walk into the big room that you've seen the pictures of 100 times, with all of the stormtroopers all lined up. That room is so cool looking. I made sure both times, or I think 2 or 3 times that I've been on it over the 2 different days that we've been there, I made sure that I was the last one off of the rebel ship, so that way when I got to the stormtrooper room, I could just take a nice video and a couple good pictures of the stormtrooper room, and I didn't have to worry about anybody behind me pushing me forwards. And the cast members were cool. Even in there, they were like, okay, whatever, 2-3 minutes until the next group of people got kidnapped and put onto the Star Destroyer. So that if you were at the end, they let you hang out a little bit. And honestly, if you don't hang out there, if you just rush to the line, then you're just waiting in a bunch of switchbacks. And it's like, okay, I could have stood here and enjoyed this a little bit longer instead of standing in these switchbacks, which were nice looking. It looked like a Star Destroyer inside of a ship, but the landing docking bay looked so much better to look at than it does standing at the next area.
Yep. I mean, they'll definitely move you along because they don't want the doors opening up and tourists to be inside of that room. So it's like, you got to move eventually, but yeah, take it in.
You got to move eventually. You can't stay there forever, but you can definitely linger a little bit.
And keep your eyes out for stormtroopers that move. So
yes, there's I want to say maybe 3 or 4 of them that do move around a little bit, which is really, really cool. And then when then you're getting into where they group you into the next part. And this was fun. While we were waiting there, the Empire security guards, whatever their titles are in there, we wanted our daughter to ask them a question, and she was like, "I'm not going to do it." So then I said really loud, "I'm like, go ahead, ask them, do it, ask them. I dare you. Go ahead, ask them." So he turns and he looks at her, and he looks at my wife actually, and he goes, "You have a question for me?" And she goes, "What's the food like on this trip? I heard it's a little chewy." And he goes, "You're going to find out soon enough." And then he turned around, and everybody around us all like laughed because it's chewy like Chewbacca. It was pretty funny.
Great joke.
It's a great joke. They definitely will act it up with you, because I saw him after he turned around. He said to one of the other guys, he goes, "How'd I do?" And the other guy was like, "That was a good one. You did a good job there."
Nice. It's such a cool spot for the cast members, like to be able to just kind of dig into that and find the right amount of immersion. Not like the tip your stroller over scary, but
not that scary, but scary enough where you actually feel like you are a prisoner for a second there, which is fun. Then you go into the room where Kylo who stands there and he's like questioning you, like,
Kylo and
what
Hux
planet are you
there.
from?
Yep.
And it was funny because I'm like shouting back. I'm like, "Batuu! We were on Batuu!"
Well, that's not where the secret base is, so you were okay.
That's not where. Yeah, it's okay. I didn't give away the secret base. But yeah, he wants to know where the secret base is, and then he sends you. Oh, and then like the side of the room opens up. It's really cool, and then then eventually the actual ride starts. So all of this is not even the ride yet. This is just the immersion, which is really fun. And then the ride starts, and then the ride is top notch. And it's funny, whenever they talk about it's a trackless ride, I really want the ride to just do random things, almost like AI is driving it. Like, go here, then go here, and then whatever. But you can see. Even like the Mickey Mouse, what's the
Runaway Railway or Runaway Railroad?
Yeah, like that's also a trackless ride, and even Ratatouille in Disney World is a trackless ride. but you can see the tire tracks on the ground from where
you know where it's
of
going to go if you're looking.
you know where it's going to go. Yeah. What is neat about it is because it's a trackless ride, you can have two cars going behind each other. One car goes left, one car goes right, and they can mix and match and do all these different things, which is what makes it pretty cool. But I really wanted a little bit of fear that maybe these, not that they would, but maybe that these two cars would bang into each other type of thing. Like, that's how much freedom I want. I don't want to be able to see the tracks in the ground of where all the rides go. But there's a lot of great scenes in here. Going underneath the legs of AT-ATs, which are enormous. Hopefully you see it in A mode when Kylo Ren cuts through the roof and comes down. And you don't see the video, which is what we saw the first time. We just saw the video of Kylo Ren. They're throwing rocks at you, all this other stuff. It's really, really cool.
So many great effects of like blaster scoring and the cannons moving and lights and everything happening. It's just really impressive how smart they were with these repeatable effects as every car goes through it, but still giving you that feeling of like that's a lightsaber stabbing through right now.
Yeah, so good, so good. And like when even if you know where it is, you really can't see it until it comes down. Like there's no like tire tracks in the ground. There's no track of where the lightsaber is coming down above you or anything like that.
Yep.
So super cool, super immersive. And obviously this is all, taking place in the middle of episodes 7, 8, and 9. So it all takes place in that time frame. So that ride is all Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren and the stormtroopers. What's
First Order stormtroopers.
First Order stormtroopers. Yeah. So super fun ride. If the lines are short, if you can go at 15 minutes before the park closes. Because Disney does have a thing that if you're in line before the park closes, they're going to keep everybody in line going through until the park closes. So I definitely highly recommend.
It's funny because the Disneyland California experience is a little different because they usually end up closing that ride or the queue for that ride early because otherwise it would go on, or at least they used to back when it was consistent 2-3 hour queues. And so at about, if the park would close at 10, they'd usually start closing the queue around 8 or 8:30 just so that they could reasonably get through it, shut the ride down safely for the night, and then have the time to go about it for the next day. Because otherwise, people are going to be doing that and you're going to have a 4-hour wait at 10.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and then they're gonna have to pay all the actors to stay there till midnight or whatever. So or even 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. So
exactly.
Yeah. So they're the two big rides.
All of this ride talk has really made me hungry, and I think we should talk about some of the food establishments.
Yes. So you of course have. I wouldn't really call it a food establishment as much as a drink establishment, but you have Oga's. Let me make sure I say it right. Yep, it is an apostrophe S. Oga's Cantina.
Oga's Cantina, that's right.
Which is a fun place. I actually stole the menu from there and the placemats, or not the drink coasters.
The coasters.
I had them around somewhere. I don't know where they went. Oh, here's some of them.
Those were hot commodities and disappeared fast.
Yes. So I have some of the coasters here. These are fun. Took the coasters. I took one of the menus. Oga's Cantina serves some appetizers and some drinks.
Yep.
Not a lot of big food there, and I don't know if they still do or not. I don't know if they still have the time limit, but I know multiple people told us as we were walking in, you have, I think it was 45 minutes you're allowed to stay there.
That sounds about right for the start, because it was hard. Like, you had to get in and get the reservation or get into the virtual queue to get yourself in there. So it wasn't just walk up, let's get you in. It just wasn't an option. It was so popular for so long at the beginning. I'm pretty sure they've stripped away the virtual queue at this point and you can do some walk-ups, but still it helps to have a bit of a reservation to get you in there. Because it is that popular feeling. It is exactly like any cantina you'd expect to see, very similar to that Tatooine experience. And like, who doesn't want to be immersed in that feeling of even like servers who kind of treat you like scoundrels and go from there.
Yep. We even, My friend Tom just was in the parks the very end of August, and he didn't have a reservation for Oga's Cantina, so I don't think he got in there. And Olivia said it's a 2-drink limit too, but they want you to. Yeah, they do try to push that second drink on you, and of course it's inside a park. The drinks are not that cheap. They were good. I don't remember the names of the ones that we got, but I know my wife and I got 2 different drinks. They were pretty good. The appetizers were a little small. I think we were also trying to share it between 4 people, so that made a little bit of a difference. But it's just the ambiance, and it's just the whole thing about it. DJ Rex is in there, which
classic nod back to Star Tours.
Yep, Star Tours, the original pilot of Star Tours before C-3PO took the helm for you, was this other droid. It wasn't what was his old name? It was something Rex. It was I forget the call letters that he was.
Yeah, I don't remember either. So,
but he's now DJ Rex, because he was R3X. Is what his old symbol was an R3X droid, also known as Rex, and formerly known as RX-24, was an RX series pilot droid who functioned as a pilot before being reprogrammed into a DJ on Batuu. So in the original Star Tours, he was the pilot. They switched him out, put some dude named C-3PO, don't know who he was, put him in there instead. And then it was fun that they
hard to
repurposed
recognize without the red arm. So,
red arm and 1 silver leg. I don't know who that guy was. He didn't recognize him. Oh, hello, sir.
Yeah, but I Oga's to me, like, I always wanted to be more, but I always say that I'm always just kind of whelmed by it. Like, it's a nice experience, but I don't quite see the draw. I mean, in the West Coast, I'm pretty sure the only spot that's not like exclusive clubber access that you can have alcohol in the Disneyland park. So that is definitely like something of note for that. But again, like the whole experience just hasn't really made me too excited. I've been in once. I don't get like out of my way to go back in another time.
Yeah, and it's something like, at least for me, same thing with like, the drinks were okay, but I'm not like, oh, I have to have this specific drink because I have to drink alcohol type of thing, as we're doing a podcast where we're drinking beer. But like, it is really neat to look at. They have a lot of cool nods in there to different things you would see in a cantina anywhere, like you said, even on Tatooine or whatever. So it does make you feel like you're in a real cool cantina. But at the same time, you also have that like time, the clock there ticking
the time
at
limit,
you. Like, yeah, the time limit. It's like you have to get out in 45 minutes. So then you're like, oh, I have to make sure, and then you're like, oh, what should I look at next? And you're like, oh, I got to get out of here before they yell at me. I don't think like at the 45-minute mark, they're not going to be like, get out, but they're definitely going to start like, hey, is there anything else I can get for you? Do you want anything else? Is it time
here's
for you to
your
move
bill?
on? Yeah, here's your bill. Yeah, exactly. So they're definitely going to start. Where should we send it to your room? What do we want? Like whatever. So that's neat. Also, the Docking Bay 7, food court. That's a neat little thing because it's also, if you can get a good seat, it overlooks the Millennium Falcon. So you have nice views coming out of there.
Yeah, the outdoor seating, yeah. Yeah,
I remember going in there, and it was just nice because it was air conditioned, and we were at Walt Disney World in August, and it was hot as anything.
It's always a mistake, yep.
Yeah, so it was nice to just sit down, just get a Coca-Cola, and just relax for a little bit, and just, I can let my pores stop pouring sweat out of them for a moment while I'm sitting here.
Yeah. Easily one of my favorite places to eat in the park as a whole. The food is just consistently good, and there's decent enough variety to go through it. Even like the vegetarian option with the I think it's the kafta or the kafta, I don't remember exactly what it is. So good, and such a great nod to the novel about it, because they talk about how this is the best place to eat on planet 6 days out of the month. And so living up to that hype for me is such a great nod to what that really is.
Yes. I agree 100%. And then the other one is Ronto Roasters, which is, I'm pretty sure, Tag's favorite thing to get are
It's
Ronto
so
roasters.
So good. You gotta love
So
this
good.
flatbread with a good sausage and a mix of sauce, slaw, and everything else inside of it. Just consistently delicious, and I have to give full credit to roasting the meat with a pod racer engine.
Yes, that's awesome. Seeing that giant pod racer engine sitting there is really, really cool.
It's so cool, the robot just turning the spit, and then it's like a real pod racer engine cooking this. This is like peak creativity for me in Star Wars world of like, how can we use these things that we've introduced, but in new ways to kind of give life and excitement to something. And it's just like such a dumb idea that someone threw out there that's like perfect.
That's perfect. Yeah, 100%. And even like going back into, I think it was in The Mandalorian maybe, there were AT-AT legs that was like a crane on this one planet. So it was like they took on this planet, they after the Empire lost, they took the AT-ATs and they repurposed them into something else. And this is the same thing. They were able to repurpose these giant pod racer engines into something that can cook something instead. I don't know, me personally, I don't know, what kind of fuel that's kicking out there, if it's actually would be as delightful as you might think it is. But whatever, it is what it is.
It's clearly flavor. So
yes, exactly. And then that leads right into the little hallway of the shops, which are really, really neat because it's a tight little hallway there. It's got some neat little shops on either side. Each one is selling very specific little items. Some are toys, some are some clothes and things like that. But all
you got the
very
creatures stall. And then Katsaka's popcorn place as well, where I tried dill pickle popcorn, and that was interesting.
Would you recommend it?
Not that high on it, but also dill pickle's not definitely a flavor that I'm too into. So I'm curious to try the normal. I don't know what they actually call the popcorn that comes out of there, but they had a strawberry slushy drink the last time we were there. It was so good. But you're right. Like, that marketplace is so great to have that spot where you get like what feels like these little stalls set up by people. You go, oh, do I want to buy a porg? I can do that here. Or you keep moving on. Eventually get to the little game stall and everything. It's so neat. It
is so neat. And I'm pretty sure we rope dropped to go back there to go to probably... I'm trying to think which one we tried to rope drop, which ride it was, but I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Either one of them, we tried to rope drop, or we had like a fast pass for Smuggler's Run or something like that. I forget what the deal was.
Common choice, yep.
Yeah, but we got back there like right as the park opened, and this is in Disney World, and we stayed on property, so of course you get the extra time in there. When we first walked through there was nobody in the park, so it really felt like you were in this little... like just this strange little town or whatever, like just some little backwater town that you were in, and it felt really cool. And then later on in the day, we went back through there again because then we had ride for Smuggler's Run or something like that, and then it was packed, and it felt so much different when it was packed than it did when you were, just you walking through there. So it was pretty neat. And then we get into the two building areas, which are so much fun. Savi's Workshop, where you can build your own lightsaber, and the Droid Depot. They're completely different, but both of them are so much fun to do. The only thing I wish is, especially with the Droid Depot, I wish there was like a little bit more to it, because I got the
the conveyor belt to just pick parts.
Yeah, and it was like... I have my little guy back here. Like, you're literally, you pick the body is one piece, the head is a second piece, and then the legs come packaged together. I did see people who bought two different packages of legs so they could put one red and one green on or something like that. Yep. And then, all three, and the tripod in the middle. All three of these all come in one package. But that's it. You're putting together four pieces. Yep. And really, if you're not... you could build, and I forget what these were, 100, 125 or something like that.
That sounds about right.
Somewhere in that area. But you could drop $100 in about 7 minutes.
Yeah. That's why I haven't done that one yet. I'm like, I don't necessarily see it. And it kind of is a nod back to what we were talking about with Cal and the BD droids, is that Star Wars and even like Disney Star Wars has done so good with all of the different droids that exist, like throughout their stories, even the Black Spire one where I'm reading about Pook and how just the attitude that he has. But I mean, you got R2, you got C-3PO, you got Chopper, you've got BB-8, you've got BD-1, you've got K-2SO. Like, all of these droids have great personalities. Things are super interesting. Can't leave off L3 for the big personalities either.
Yeah,
like,
she's got a huge personality.
They're there. Like, you just can't pick, like, this is the elite droid. And so, like, how do you build the one?
How do you build the one? Exactly. And it's like, once you start building one, then you're looking at the other pieces and you're like, oh, maybe I'll build another one. And then suddenly, you know, you're walking, not that I didn't, we bought one and that was it. But like, you could easily, oh, well, my son wants one. Oh, my daughter wants a pink one. Let's, you know, and then we have 3 of them. We're dropping $500 on droids that, as you can see, since then have just sat on a shelf and done absolutely nothing. What I do like about them is the fact that there are the groups, and RGH is part of it, where you can join a Facebook group. Well, you can't because you don't go on social media, but there are Facebook groups where droid builder Facebook groups where you can take them and they teach you how to, or they talk to you all about whatever. You can like age it, you can make it, you know, not look like a plastic toy, look like something that was really in Star Wars. And then those guys have little meetups every once in a while in the park, which obviously you either have to be a local or, you know, plan out accordingly so that you can go with them. But there have been pictures of like the droid builders all going back in, and I know RGH did it, Ryan did it once, where he was talking about he had to take his droid all the way apart at the security desk on the way in so that they could make sure that it wasn't anything, it wasn't a bomb or anything like that, which is, it's a shame that you have to do something like that for your protection, but it is neat. And if you do age them and all that stuff, they do look really original and really cool. And there's even, you know, $125 for the original one. But if you want this, you know, you can get a different personality chip for another $25, or you can get this for another $25.
There's so many.
So many different things that you can do for it, but they're cool. It was fun, and I made sure I said to Trey, because my daughter she likes Star Wars, but she didn't care about building the droid. But I was like, we're going to take our time, because I don't want to just rush through it and be all done with it for the price that we're paying for this. So we took our time. We put it together slowly. We, you know, activated it and all that stuff. And even in this, it's not as immersive as it is when you build a lightsaber, but the people behind the counter, I think we had a girl that was helping us. She does try and make it fun for you and make it like you are bringing a droid to life and all that good stuff. And so it was pretty neat, and it was a good time. And then the ultimate in Star Wars fandom is having your own lightsaber.
Yep.
And that's where Savi's Workshop comes in. They have so much fun, and they make it so immersive, and they make you, they're mine's up here.
I got
on
mine
the wall,
ready, so yeah.
But yeah, you got the one with the bone on the end of it.
Yeah, I got that Rancor claw.
I don't know if mine the batteries are dead or not, but
I pull my batteries out because they drain so fast if you don't, because they just keep on going. So
yeah, my battery. Oh, there it goes. I got a little bit.
Oh, you're good. Ooh, you chose that color?
So I have a purple one, which I don't know if
it's in your holocron. I see.
Dead also. Yeah, my holocron is dead. But I got the Sith holocron, which I have the purple. Where is it? Where's the little? I hear you. There you are. So this has a little tray that you put the holocron in, if I can pull it out. But I have the purple one. Here we go. I bought the purple one. That's in the Sith holocron. And then I have in my lightsaber, because it's red, I actually have the black crystal.
Okay.
So the black crystal, if you can get one of the very elusive black crystals, they come in the red box. But you open it up, and every couple of them were actually black instead of red. So we got it red because we wanted to try and get a black crystal. So I got a black crystal, but it makes the blade red instead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Sith holocron, or do you have the Rebel holocron?
I have one of each.
Oh, okay.
Because necessary. So yeah, so I got my Sith one handy here. I think my Rebel one's downstairs still. But I got my Rebel looking one that is actually just a game of 20 questions.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
super neat, the holocrons are fun also because the different crystals you put in it will say different things.
Different personalities, yep.
Different personalities, yeah.
So, yeah, but that building experience is exactly what you're hoping for in the immersion, which, again, reading the book checks out because Savi is much more in tune with the Force and kind of in that good spirit of everything, so it checks out 100%. They would have that lightsaber workshop in the scrapyard scavenge and have those connections that kind of go with it. You get to bring one person in with you when you do the build, so pick your favorite person to really get this experience because having it in person is just incredible.
Yeah, or a person who will appreciate it the most. So my favorite person wouldn't appreciate it, but my son did, so I didn't.
That's the right choice.
But yeah, it's so much fun. You pick between 4 different styles, and then in those 4 different styles of hilt, there's multiple pieces for. I think there's 4 different parts to the blade, and each one of the parts, when you pick a style, you have 4 different choices for each of the parts, so you can make it however you want to. Mine's very symmetrical. That we were going to do it completely different. The top piece and the bottom piece are the same type of a piece. We were going to mix it up a little bit, but we decided to go with the same top and bottom. As we have here, yours is much different than mine because you went with the different type of starting pieces as well.
Yep. I love the little leather grip on the bottom, making it feel a lot more like worn and personalized, and then the other pieces that really just go with it nicely. So.
Yeah, so it's so much fun. I don't know, was it like 15, 20-minute experience maybe?
That feels about right, probably.
Yeah. And it was funny, like, I same thing. I wanted to stretch it out as long as I could because this was like $200 or right around 200, I think.
They were 220 or 240, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, look, if I'm spending this much money, I don't want to be the first one to pick everything, to be the first one done, and to be standing there waiting. I want to take my time. So Trey and I were discussing, like, oh, should we do this part? Should we do that part? And it wasn't that much longer than everybody else, but we definitely were the last ones done for each of the different parts. And I was like, you're going to wait because this is an experience that I want to remember. And I don't want to feel like I was rushed through it and go, oh, man, I really wish I would have taken my time. So
I feel like they did good at not rushing you in that one too. So
yeah, they definitely don't. They don't say, oh, blah blah blah, hurry up. You sure you pick one now quickly. So it was definitely fun. And when they take your hilt and then they put it into the box, and then they turn it, and then the box opens and he goes, okay, everybody lift up your blades, and you're like, wow, and they're all lit up. So much fun. It's such a magical. Good time. It's so magical. I only wish that I was there on a day like on May the 4th, like on Star Wars Day, when you see the picture of everybody by the Millennium Falcon at nighttime holding up their lightsaber blades, and you just see all these blades and people are waving them all around and stuff like that. It was funny after we got out of there. I think ours was a little bit later, or we did something late at night. I forget what it was, but there was this train. I think maybe all 3 of us went to get to do pictures. We wanted to do some pictures at nighttime because at nighttime it is so much different lit up at nighttime than it is during the day. So we wanted to take pictures of everybody holding the lightsaber at nighttime with it all glowing and stuff. And my wife was just sitting on one of the rocks somewhere just waiting for us. And this lady and this little kid, he had a lightsaber, but the mom was like he was real little, 3 or 4, but she was like, this is not a plastic lightsaber that you can just bash people with, because
right.
while the blade is pretty sturdy, you never want to, you never trust what a 3-year-old can do to something that's supposed to not break, because it will definitely break.
They will find a way.
They will find a way. So then we're coming back, and then Sherry, my wife, says to me, she goes, play lightsabers with this kid. And I was like, okay. So he was so ginger, and it was cute. And I mean, I wasn't like trying to beat him, obviously. I'm an intelligent man, and I know that whatever.
Small child lightsaber. He was asking for it. I get it.
He was asking for it. He deserved it. Like he asked for it. So whatever.
Yep.
But we were just like so gently, just like tapping blades back and forth. And he just had like the biggest smile on his face. And I'm like, this is so cool. Like, I don't know if he's going to remember, but I definitely remember having a little lightsaber battle with this little kid. It was cute.
That's awesome.
So those are great things to do in the park. If you have expendable money laying around, definitely go do those. What else do we have?
So to buy into your immersion, you have all the characters that show up as well, which is pretty great, because not only do you get your main cast essentially from the sequel movies, so you can see Kylo Ren, you can see Rey, you can see R2, you can see Chewie, and that's the extent of your characters in that sense. But you also now get to see the Mandalorian with Grogu. You can see Boba Fett, Ahsoka Tano, and the character that is specific to Black Spire Outpost, Vi Marati, who is the big feature in the Black Spire book. And I think that she's also in the Phasma book, if I remember right.
I think so as well, yes. She was cool. It was funny. Trey and I were like standing somewhere, and he goes, "Oh, there she is." And I go, "Who?" And he's like, the person from this land. And she just walked over and started talking to people and was like, "Hey, have you seen any Imperial, any bad guys or anything like this or whatever?" And she was really cool. She was wandering around. She was doing some really neat things. So she was fun. We did see 2 different Reys at Disney World the week that I was there, in 2 different days. The one Rey looked a lot more like Daisy Ridley than the other Rey did. I was like, wow, this one, you actually look a lot closer to her than and then the next day we saw a different one, and I'm like, yeah, you're wearing the same clothes, but you're definitely not Rey. And I was a little jealous in the beginning, but now they're sort of coming East Coast also. West Coast was getting all of the people first. They were getting the Mandalorian and Grogu. They were getting the BD droids. They were getting all that stuff before East Coast was. They're now making their way East Coast. West Coast even had a Luke Skywalker there for a little while, which was like finally breaking the time frame. The space-time continuum was finally broken by having Luke Skywalker walk around. So that was pretty neat. There's the First Order cargo area, which was weird because it's just like, it looks like it's a stage. You're waiting for somebody to come out and start dancing, but then like that's just it. It's there. You can also see people like behind some of the displays. Like the one time we walked past, and Rey was standing at one of the spaceships, and she was just pretending to be like working on it. So that was neat that she did that. They have other little like hidden things, and then I got it all confused on Spokes, the Hub Crawl after show. There's 2 different things that you can do in the park. One is with the app. You can go around at different things and get different things.
The Disney Play app is awesome because there's a lot of different interactions, so you can get these virtual collectibles of like outfits and weaponry depending on how you engage with it. I still haven't finished my collection. I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing out on, but there's like essentially QR codes you scan and you can get items from crates. There's missions that can be given to you that you're trying to accomplish, including 2 pretty thorough ones inside the queues for the attractions. I love the one that's inside a Smuggler's Run because when you get up to the viewport and get to see the back of the Millennium Falcon, you kind of engage with the things that are on there. It's a great way to pass the time and try to go with that. But then also you're translating Arabesh or you're hacking into satellites. Like you are just getting extra little bits of lore for this town to help it be a real place that you kind of talk about and not just Star Wars land, whatever it is. But no, it's Black Spire Outpost with Vimerati who's trying to set up a resistance base here.
Yeah, so it is neat that they did that. I know a lot of people say like the outpost isn't what was delivered wasn't what we were pitched.
It wasn't as immersive.
Yeah, we were definitely pitched a lot more interaction, a lot more droids, a lot more characters, a lot more like
or
people
the beast ride that you could hop on, like the Jolly Trolley from Toontown.
Yeah, like, and none of those extra things, they were all cut out of it. But the Disney Play app definitely helps. And there was another one with your band that you could do certain things with your band as well.
Yes. So with the Magic Band, you get to play the Bounty Hunter game. So there's a spot near Ronto Roasters and Doc Ondar's Den of Antiquities, which we didn't talk about that store. Remember to mention that's the best spot to get merch from Galaxy's Edge. Is pretty much what it is. Doc Ondar, known to run his smuggling operation and scavenge everything. But yeah, you take your Magic Band, which definitely more prevalent East Coast than West Coast because it actually works with like hotels and things of the sort. You put it into this scanner as long as you have it attached to your phone and you can play with it. And what you do is you go around and you try to find bounties, and they're hidden behind doors. And so as you walk, your Magic Band goes between green and red lights basically and starts either flashing or vibrating as you get closer and closer to the door. And then you go into your phone app and you scan the door and you collect your bounty and you go and return it with your Magic Band. And then there's so many bounties to capture.
Yeah, they're both fun. We started it when we were walking around, but I know you could spend like a whole day just doing those two things inside Galaxy's Edge.
As long as you're ready with a phone charger.
Yeah, you definitely need an extra charger for your phone. And I also didn't want to spend the whole day just running around Galaxy's Edge. We wanted to go hit all the rest of the things in Hollywood Studios because Hollywood Studios is one of my favorite. It's definitely a lot of fun. It's a great park. I like it a lot. So we definitely wanted to go do other things. Otherwise, we could have just spent a whole day in there doing all those things. And back to Doc Ondar's, that's also a place where you can get other lightsabers. What do they call them? The legendary
ones.
The character specific. Yeah, character specific lightsabers for all different people, and at different times they had different ones that were available. You could even have gotten a Cal Kestis one for a while there in there, but they have Luke Skywalkers and Darth Vaders and all this stuff. And Ahsoka's was really neat because it had both of them, and it was more expensive because there was two of them, but it had both of them, and it came with two blades and everything like that. So it's
Same
a
with
neat
Maul's
place.
double blade. So
yeah, Maul's double blade. So if you don't want to spend the $225 to build your own, or you just really like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber blade, you could get Luke Skywalker's lightsaber as opposed to building your own lightsaber. And the legendary ones were a little bit cheaper. Now, obviously, the double ones or
the limited time ones go up. Yep.
Limited time ones, they were more expensive. But the traditional ones, Luke's and Leia's and whatever, were a little bit cheaper there. Yep. And then the other exit, which just takes you right out, was interesting because it was like, and even in like Disney World, you're like, as you're getting close, you can almost see Slinky Dog Dash in Hollywood Studios. Because as soon as you leave, you go right into Toy Story Land. And you're like, you walk under a bridge and then bam, suddenly you're in Toy Story Land. So you went from a galaxy far, far away to being a small toy, which was kind of weird.
Not the problem on the West Coast. You dump out into Frontierland, or you have enough of a transition into Fantasyland. So
yeah, a little bit of a transition there.
So you're doing fine. But that does take you to the milk stand as well, where you can get actual blue or green milk.
Yes, and if you buy the large size, I don't know if they still have it, but the large size came with this giant cup.
Oh, I've never seen that. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So this was my one friend went. Okay. It's funny because even
There's
the cup
still milk in there.
There's still milk in here. No, but even the cup is aged. So I was like, oh gosh, is there like mold and stuff forming in here? Oh, look at that. And it even lights up. Look at that. Ooh.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So you can get that, or when I went, we got the smaller cup of it.
Yep.
But yeah, you can get the blue and the green milk. It's not beer. It's not a sour ale like the one I had with Coke. It did have coconut flavoring to it, though.
It is much creamier than yours.
Yes. It was more like a frosty, like a almost like an icy, close to consistency. I did like the blue milk better than the green milk, not just because my podcast is named after the blue milk version, but I just like the flavor of the blue milk. But yes, if you want to get your own blue milk, you can go there to the milk stand and get some there.
Yeah, the other cool merch that they got is the thermal detonator Coke bottles as well.
Yes. I save everything.
You got the props all around.
Yep, I got props everywhere. Look, I was going to make the most of my trip there. So yes, and it was funny when these when they first opened. A lot of people were getting back onto the planes, and they were telling them they couldn't take this because it looked like a bomb. So they were not letting them back on their planes with them. I think the people who tried to put them in their carry-ons, they were like, no, can't do that. So it is and even just seeing the Millennium Falcon, all the ships look so cool. Between the Millennium Falcon, the First Order ships that they have, near the droid depot, there's a wall of droids that are behind a little thing. There's a couple of droids there that you get to look at. There's the other set of land speeders that look like it's a garage that somebody they're all broken and he's trying to fix them because they've been there for years now. He's not a very good mechanic, I don't think. But it's so immersive, and there's so much stuff to look at. Ryan even said in the last one, I don't know what episode he was on, but he even said he liked, if you look at the underneath side of the Millennium Falcon, there's a small Millennium Falcon model that's like molded into the underside of the Millennium Falcon. So you have to look for that as well. It's easy to see if you know that you're looking for it. I'm pretty sure it's on the left-hand side of the ship. I remember looking for it and finding it. But there is a small little Millennium Falcon underneath there. So, and it's
we're
so
going next
detailed.
month. I'll have to look.
Yeah, you have to look. Everything is so detailed. Like, everything is, they could have done a flat wall, but it has grooves. And not only does it have grooves, but it has a pipe sticking out here. And then the pipe has some rust on it. And then there's this trail underneath it of like where the rust has, gone down over the rock. And the Black Spires are put right in between, like you said, like the trees and things. And it's so neat. It's so cool looking. It's such a neat place to go to that I really love it. I love it a lot as a Star Wars fan. And I'm sure even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you're going to like it just because it's so immersive and it looks so cool. And hopefully with all these things that we talked about, maybe the non-Star Wars fan will enjoy it even more. I'm looking to see if there's any of my notes here. Smugglers 1, Rise of the Resistance, even the shops and restaurants, Kylo Ren. Oh, yeah, Rey, Chewbacca. Kylo Ren is fun when he comes up to you. I forget, like, they do interact with you a little bit, and then they walk away. And it's so funny, even like, even when you meet, like in Walt Disney World, it's not in Galaxy's Edge. You have to go to a different area, to the what used to be the area that they did the actual animation in, the old animation building, but now it's like a meet and greet area, which they're actually getting rid of that and they're putting something else in there. But even when you go there and you meet Darth Vader, this is not Darth Vader. This is just some like 18-year-old kid who's getting $7 an hour to stand there and pretend that he's Darth Vader. But you're still scared of him. You're still like, what are you going to say to me? Like, why am I cowering for you? Yeah. Olivia said the stormtroopers walking around are really fun. They're super interactive at Disneyland. They're pretty interactive at Disney World also. They do chat you up a lot, and they ask you questions. Now, the only problem is they only have so many things that they can say. So, like, you can't really have a conversation with them. They just say, move along now.
Move along eventually.
Move along. Yeah.
Tired of you. But But you're so right. Like when you go to Disneyland, you step into old Innoventions and meet Darth Vader, or when you run into the stormtroopers and everything, like that's kind of the joy of what you have to have being at a Disney park, is you know that you are immersing yourself as if you are a 7-year-old again, setting eyes on your favorite things for the first time. And that's why it can work so well, is when you just suspend your belief of reality and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, and the actors really make you suspend that reality for a second there. When Kylo Ren looks at you through that mask and you hear him like say to you, move along now, or whatever else he says to you, you're just like, okay. Like, you got it, dude. I'll be going over here now. So it is a lot of fun. They are fun to interact with. I haven't seen the BD droids and I haven't seen Mando, but I know Mando with Grogu, that animatronic of Grogu that he carries around is really, really good also.
It's so good.
So I would love to see both of them in person. I haven't seen either of them in person yet. But it is definitely a lot of fun, and it's just a fun area. And we talked about the time and all that good stuff. So I think we basically hit everything that there is to know about it being Black Spire Outpost, and that you're now on the planet of Batuu, not to be confused with Tatooine, because that is not where you are. You're on a whole new planet there. But yeah, I think I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else you want to add to it? I think we've gone on long enough.
I think we've gotten it. If we haven't sold you, the Star Wars fan or the fledgling Star Wars fan, that it's worth your time and experience, especially if you are a reader too and pick up the Black Spire novel or the comic book to go with it, just to give you that extra bit of lore. Like, you'll just have a better time. Like, I can't wait to go in October now that I'm reading the book and can just talk my 100%. Group's ear off of, this is doing this. This is what this is for. So.
Yeah, and it's fun that they did try to incorporate it into Star Wars, and like you said, even in a couple of books, they talk about it in passing. I think it was even it could have even been a passing comment in Ahsoka or even Mando. I feel like one of the more recent TV shows, they just threw out Black Spire Outpost or Batuu. They did throw it in there in a sentence just so you didn't forget about it. But yeah, so Star Wars is trying to make it more into its lore and whatever. So I think it's a great place to go to. I had a lot of fun, and if you don't after all of this, then I'm sorry that we weren't able to sway you into going and enjoying your time there in Galaxy's Edge. So I don't know. That's it. I'm done. On that note, I'm going to say it, and then you get to repeat me.
Got it.
Once again, until 2 weeks from now, we have spoken.
We have spoken.
Good night, everybody.